Um, we get to visit with a teacher from Maple Grove Elementary in Applewood today as part of our local heroes series. I'm going to start over so that we do that right.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Ed Perlmutter. I'm congressman for the 7th Congressional District. And today we're very lucky to visit with one of our local heroes, Tammi Ligrani, who is a teacher, a 5th grade teacher at Maple Grove Elementary in Applewood. And she would probably say she's not a hero, but I can tell you she is. One, because she's a teacher. And May is Teacher Appreciation Month. And we really do appreciate our teachers, especially as we're going through this COVID-19 pandemic, and teachers have had to kind of change the way they do business to teach remotely. And so that's an extra burden that we have on our education system and our teachers. But she specifically is a math and reading and science teacher, and has gone sort of above and beyond in working with her students. And she enjoys surprising them too on their birthdays. So we're very lucky to have Tammi Ligrani with us today. And I want to just thank her for joining us and let her tell us a little bit about how the remote learning is going. And then we'll talk a little bit about some of the surprises that she does, or some of the additional things that she does as part of her class. So Tammi, tell us about yourself.
Well, I am a 5th grade teacher, and right now in Maple Grove, I have 2 classrooms of math students and science students, and one of the classrooms is my homeroom, and I teach them reading. And I've been teaching for 29 years. This is my 29th year of teaching, and I love Maple Grove, and I know, Ed, your children went to Maple Grove when they were younger. Maple Grove is a unique building. We work really hard there, and we're always looking for ways to make learning accessible and fun for all of our kids. We used Google Classroom already in 5th grade, but boy, we had to up the game by adding videos, learned how to screencastify. I've watched videos where that person is sitting in that small corner, and now that's me sitting in the small corner teaching kids how to do stuff. You know, the kids love lessons, and so I do live teaching sessions every day at 10, and where the kids come and join me and we work together. I do a live read aloud every day at 1 o'clock where I'm reading them a story. This story is called The Night Gardener, and it's a little bit creepy, but the kids are loving it. I know it's a funny one. We're in a fantasy reading unit right now, so it's definitely a fantasy story. What else can I tell you?
Well,
go ahead.
Tell us sort of a typical class now.
Yes.
That you're having to do things remotely in a virtual classroom, kind of in contrast to how you would ordinarily be teaching if we weren't in a pandemic.
Right. Well, everything's online, and I can't reach every child at the same time. I have to offer myself up, you know, throughout the day. We have a chat going, so the kids ask me questions in chat. If they need more than just a quick answer, then we meet in Google Meet, and we do live. As you can see, I have a board behind me. Thank goodness my husband figured out that one. I'm writing on that board all the time with the kids, modeling problems. I can't do a live math lesson every day, so I have a recorded math lesson that I've done, so they can watch the lesson and then they can come and ask for questions. A lot more work now based on by not being in the classroom with the kids, and it's also a lot lonelier.
Well, and I can attest to that. Just you may know my wife Nancy is a high school math teacher up at Lake, and teaching remotely has been a very different experience for her. And she, you know, as a teacher, and I'm sure this is true for you, you like that personal interaction with the students. And, you know, this has made it very hard given the social distancing and the stay at home that we've been asked to do, which has really paid off in terms of reducing and flattening the curve and suppressing this contagion. But still, it's a different experience, and it sounds to me so. Talk about some of the fun things that you've been doing through this virtual education system.
Well, one of the things that we did, we have in fifth grade, we share buddies with kindergarten. We take them on a field trip. We used to meet with them every other week and read and do crafts. Well, one of the things that we did just this week is we used Flipgrid, and the kindergarten buddies made videos that they sent to our fifth graders, and then our fifth graders sent them videos back. This way we can get them still talking to each other, and that was a lot of fun. I got on there and I added videos, and I was kind of silly. Another thing, I know, do you want me to talk about the birthday thing? Because I know you mentioned that earlier. When we were in the regular classroom, you know, there's a lot of restrictions on what we can have in the classroom based on food and such. And so a birthday in elementary school is huge. A birthday anytime, I guess, is huge. But in elementary school, you know, wanting to be notified or wanting to be recognized, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So when we were in the classroom, I would start the kids' day off with a hand-drawn birthday cake on the chalkboard or on the dry erase board. And we'd sing silly songs to them, and they'd blow out the candle by erasing it. And I'd provide them with a treat of their favorite candy. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but I did it anyway. And a sticker that says it's my birthday. Well, I've had several birthdays in March and April, and, you know, we're not in the classroom. So I thought, you know, I got to do something. And so I got their favorite treat and attached a balloon to it. And I wrote all over the balloon, happy birthday. And then I dropped it off on their doorstep, ring the doorbell, and run quick as I can back to my car so that I'm at least 6 feet away. And I offered to sing them happy birthday. And luckily for them, none of them have taken me up on that part. But it's a nice surprise. I do contact their parents so that they're there and ready. But you know, they've got to be recognized, and I didn't want to leave anybody out. So that's another fun thing I'm doing.
So do the kids the next day when you're having a virtual classroom, do they say anything to you, or do they come to the door and wave to you? I mean, what is their response?
They've come to the door and wave. A lot of them have come outside and stood on their patios, and one made me lip gloss, and she tossed me a lip gloss that she made for me. And I mean, just really neat things, an opportunity to see the kids. It's weird when your teacher comes to your house, you know, and for something such as happy birthday, you know, I think it means a big deal to these kids.
So have the kids talk to you about, you know, how they're feeling, or how they're, you know, do they think they're learning stuff? I mean, what's the conversation like between you and one of your students?
You know, we have a range of students, and it's kind of been one of those reassuring situations when they come on and they say, I hate this online learning. I want to be back in school. And that makes your heart, you know, sing, because you know, kids are always like, I hate school. But they're learning. They're asking lots of great questions. There are kids that are learning more than others, of course, that's usual. I think that they all miss that interaction, and can I ask you this question right now versus, oh, let me send you a chat. Let's see if we can get together. Let's ask that question. Each one of my book clubs, oh, I forgot to tell you, we have book clubs every morning at 9:15 and talk about books we're reading. Each one of the book clubs and the read aloud and the meetings, I'm finding myself starting them about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes early, so kids can come on just to chat and say hi and show me their pets and talk to me about things that they've made, things that they've done. One fun thing I have going on right now, and I forgot about this, was we finished our science core content for the year. So I've done some exploration science. And so right now I've got a challenge out to the kids to make a Rube Goldberg machine. And so they're sending videos into me, and I'm putting those videos on the website and on the fifth grade website. And, you know, it's just something to do, get them moving around the house, get them enjoying, getting them learning, having fun.
So do they ever give you like a virtual tour of their home? Do they introduce you to their little brother or sister or that kind of stuff?
All the time. And sometimes we have little brothers and sisters who join us during read aloud. And it's cute because it starts with just the fifth grader, and then suddenly you see a couple more heads come in, and then they're all sitting there listening. And it's great. I've seen bedrooms. I tried at first moving from room to room in my house to just kind of give them a different view. We had a pet fish in the class. And this morning I sent them in our chat pictures from the fish saying good morning. Just ways to keep connecting, and you got to do it. That's what we do every day. I got to find a way to do it now this way too.
Well, I mean, I think that's really why you and so many other teachers are really heroes for the rest of us, because, your whole way of teaching, your classroom, the interaction would kind of upended, and all of you have had to say, okay, this wasn't what I was planning for, but let's make the best of it. And it sounds to me like, this has become not routine, but something that now provides kind of a calming element to these kids, and allows them some sort of a normal day. It's different than what it was, but to be helping them a lot.
Right. We have lots of conversations about haircuts and who's getting one or who needs one, and those times too. Just a way to communicate with these kids. It's important.
So as a teacher, what would you like the rest of us to know for this Teacher Appreciation Month?
Well, the remote learning has added more work, definitely more work, and more like challenge for us as teachers to find a way to continue to engage the kids, help them learn, but also to help them relax. This is pandemic. It's scary. I have kids who have parents who are sick, and supporting them through that. It's given me as a teacher a completely different viewpoint of that relationship that I need to have with these kids, and the time it takes to make sure that the instruction I'm giving them is quality so that they continue their learning. So, I know every teacher around the state, probably across the United States, is doing the same thing, trying to figure out that way to keep that connection and keep that learning fresh for these kids.
Well, I know you've had a couple classes that wanted to come visit me. And one time I was having a granddaughter was just being born, and that sort of interrupted that. Now we've got a pandemic. I can tell you today, my wife, Nancy, had me join the government class at Stanley Lake, where the government class was presenting a bill to the United States Senate on whether we should do away with textbooks and go strictly to tablets, online learning, or not. And they were weighing the pros and cons. And for that teacher to engage those kids in that fashion and listen to the debate, I know I loved it. I enjoyed it. I got to ask some questions as if I were a senator. I'm just a member of Congress, not a senator.
Yeah, but you're important.
Well, and it was, for me, it was rewarding. And I know this has been an additional burden to you and to, teachers generally throughout Colorado and the nation. And we all just applaud you, first for being teachers, and second for having taken on this additional responsibility in a time where we need to continue to educate our kids, trying to do it in a fashion that had never been tried on certainly on the scale that we're doing it now. And just thank you all for being risk takers and helping these kids get through their education, but also a difficult moment, as you were saying. So I just like to thank you for being a local hero and let you close this little segment of our series.
Well, thank you very much. And I think teachers are heroes, and some of them are even better than me. So thanks for inviting me, and thanks for interviewing me. And I do hope maybe next summer when I get to go back to Washington, D.C., that you'll be available for us to meet you at the state capitol, or the United States Capitol, exactly.
I will make sure that I am available unless I'm having another granddaughter or grandson, in which case
Yes.
I won't get that guarantee. I think we'll be through the toughest part of this pandemic and things, and I look forward to meeting you and your class in Washington, D.C. next summer.
I look forward to it too.
All right. Thank you very much, Tammi Ligrani, a local hero here in the 7th Congressional District.